Welcome back to another video. Thanks so much for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going to be looking at the old 270 Magnum King of Speed. We're going to compare it to the new King of 270 Speed. So today we're going to compare the 270 Weatherby Magnum to the 27 Nosler. I'm going to be pulling out the good old reloading books from Nosler and Hornady, and we're going to talk about these two cartridges to see which one is the better Magnum. So come along, let's go ahead and look at these cartridges. Let's first start looking at the 270 Weatherby Magnum. This is one of Roy Weatherby's first cartridges he ever produced. And it started in 1944. And what it is basically a Magnum version of a 270 Winchester. So he took that 300 H&H case, shortened it, and then necked down to fit a 277 diameter bullet. And this thing is consistently about 300 feet per second faster than a 270 Winchester. Let me just show you what it looks like next to a 270 Winchester. So what you can't really tell in the book is that the Weatherby cartridge is quite a bit wider than this. And then if you can see here, the shoulder is a little bit higher up. Yeah, they're about the same length. And the real big difference is that this one is a bit wider. So it can hold quite a bit more powder than the 270 Winchester. Looking at Nosler's book, we are going to go ahead and see how fast it shoots the 130 grain. So a partition or an AccuBond. And look at that, almost 3,500 feet per second. So yeah, this guy is way fast. Let's go ahead and switch to the bullet I'm going to be comparing the 27 Nosler with, the 150 grain bullet. So say the AccuBond, you can shoot this up to 3,200 feet per second. So again, it has roughly around a 300 feet per second advantage over the Winchester. So it is fast, and it makes basically the 270 Weatherby a do-it-all cartridge for the lower 48 in America. You can really hunt anything in America with it. In 2020, Nosler introduced the 27 Nosler. And one of the reasons why this wasn't introduced right after the 26 or similar close to the 28 Nosler is at the time, about 6-7 years ago, there weren't really many high BC 27 caliber bullets. And Nosler really wanted to, well, they wanted to modernize it. So they wanted it with a higher BC bullet and faster twist rate barrel. So that's what the 27 Nosler is it has that faster twist rate barrel. It came out in 2020 because companies are now starting to make high BC bullets for 270s. And I don't have the 27 Nosler case on me, but what I do have is something very similar. This is a 30 Nosler. So the dimensions are almost exactly the same. Just imagine that the case is just a tad bit longer in the 27. The neck is a little bit longer, and obviously it's neck down to 277. Let's just see this big behemoth case, how it looks compared to that 27 or the 270 Winchester. So they're roughly about the same length, but this cartridge is a bit wider, and it's actually a bit wider than the 270 Weatherby as well. So let's go ahead and look at the velocities you can get with this cartridge. Starting with this 130 grain, whether it's an AccuBond or partition, and Nosler claims you can get that going close to 3,600 feet per second. So it has roughly about a 200 feet per second advantage over the 270 Weatherby. So let's switch over to the 150 grain AccuBond that I was looking at with the Weatherby. And the velocities. As you can see, Top velocity of 3,400 feet per second. That is really fast. Now, I do question whether you can really get that. As you know, I've shot the 30 Nosler, and it doesn't get the velocities that the book says it does. So, but we're just going to believe it for now, that the 27 Nosler is a rocket, and you can get 3,400 feet per second out of a 150 grain bullet. Really impressive. Okay, let's start with the 270 Weatherby with the 150 grain AccuBond with a BC, a very respectable 500, and a muzzle velocity, this is really pushing it, 3,200 feet per second. Check out that energy at 3,400 foot-pounds. That's more than a 7mm Rem Mag. Okay, so let's just see what it does taking it out to, say, like 400 yards. Just a second. 400 yards, it's still going close to 2,500 feet per second. The energy is right at 2,000 foot-pounds. And the drop, yeah, it's a pretty flat cartridge at only 21 inches a drop. Plenty of energy for elk, deer, and moose. This really is a do-it-all cartridge. And so let me just see where this will, how far this will go before it hits 1,500 foot-pounds. And this will go out to 600 yards before you hit that 1,500 foot-pound mark. Let's look at the drop. At 600 yards, it has almost 63 inches of drop. So again, still pretty flat. All right, here we are with the 27 Nosler, same bullet, 150 grain AccuBond, and the velocity going 3,400 feet per second. That energy, absolutely ridiculous. That's 300 Win Mag energy at 3841. And then let's go ahead and take this out just to 400 yards. And at 400 yards, it's going 2,600 feet per second and almost has 2,300 foot-pounds of energy. And talk about flat shooting. This is extremely flat at roughly around 18 inches. So about 3 inches less drop than a 270 Weatherby at 400 yards. And again, let's just take this out to see how far we can go before it hits 1,500 foot-pounds. And we're right at 700 yards. The velocity is still 2,100 feet per second, and it's almost 1,500 foot-pounds. And the drop is 82 inches. Now, if you remember, I said at 600 yards, the Weatherby was dropping, I think, 62 or 63 inches. So this one's only at 54. So yeah, it's a bit flatter. Lastly, I just wanted to real quickly talk about the pros and cons for each of these cartridges. Let's talk pros for the 270 Weatherby. In the 270 Weatherby, you're going to get better barrel life in the Weatherby than when you compare it to the 27 Nosler. That is one big downside with the 27 Nosler, is if you plan to shoot it a lot, it's not going to last very long. But if you shoot it like any average hunter, it's going to have plenty of long barrel life because you're not shooting it much. Let's talk 27 Nosler pros. It is the fastest 270 cartridge, and it's one of the flattest cartridges you can find. It also has a faster twist rate barrel. This comes with a 1 in 8.5, I believe, while the 270 Weatherby only comes in a 1 in 10. And I did double check on Weatherby's website. It's not a 1 in 12, but a 1 in 10. And so you're going to be able to shoot higher BC bullets out of the 27 Nosler that you cannot shoot in the 270 Weatherby. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know which one you would prefer. Would it be the Weatherby or 27 Nosler? Thank you so much and have a great day.